I've had to make this video again, folks, but we are talking about Halloween the game, which a couple of weeks ago at Gamescom we actually had the reveal trailer that this game was coming out, and obviously what made everyone get really excited about this game is going to be a single player, as well as the asymmetrical multiplayer. Yeah, I don't really care about the online. It's that. That is what every single person who is a fan of horror and video games, this is what's getting people excited, not the multiplayer aspect. Because when you have a horror IP and you have one as prestigious as Michael Myers and Halloween, people want those single-player story-driven games because you can't really do an asymmetrical multiplayer. They will try it, and it'll probably turn out to be like another Jason, Friday the 13th, or a DVD clone, where it's going to be Jason against 4 other people, which I'm pretty sure that is exactly what it is. But there's so much going on with the single-player aspect of this, which gets me excited. And in the article, they do go on about it could be like Hitman. But instead of having Agent 47, you have Michael Myers. Straight away to me, that sounds like, oh my god, we are hopefully, fingers crossed and toes crossed, getting a genuine, amazing story. This is one thing I can't wait to see. So, cult filmmaker John Carpenter seems to have been having a moment at Gamescom. He not only did his name grace the title for Toxic Commando, which I cannot wait to play either, Saber Interactive's fun evolution of the zombie co-op FPS, but his sci-fi horror The Thing is a key influence of the upcoming Directive 8020. Yeah, I think that's going to be a great game as well, mostly because it's done by the guys who did The Quarry, Until Dawn, and the other anthology pictures, which they're all great games. The Quarry is too much of a movie per se than a video game. Until Dawn, I do think, is their best game by far. But topping it all off, it was during the show where the previously announced Halloween, based on the horror classic where Carpenter himself attached as producer, had its first trailer, and it was announced that it's going to be turned into a game with a single player. That's the one that's making me and everyone else go, please be good. Please be good. Given it's being developed by Ilphonic, the studio behind other licensed horror or horror-adjacent games, Friday the 13th, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which could have been done a lot better, Predator Hunting Grounds, again, not bad, and Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed, which I had so much fun of that, I still actually play it. And in collaboration with Gun Media, Compass International Pictures and Further Front. It shouldn't be a surprise, to learn that this will consist of an asymmetrical multiplayer, but this isn't going to be Friday the 13th, swapping out Jason for Michael. For one, it's going to have a single player mode. Ugh. That is the one. That is the one that we all want. Although Friday the 13th did technically feature a single player, not really, it was just no narrative, as they say by there. But they are working with a Shanghai-based studio called Pollard Studios, which is behind Karma the Dark World. And they're saying that it does have a narrative and cinematic components to really give it a lot of story and exploration into what it's doing. I hope so. I really do hope so. Because I can see this game, if the story mode is good, I can see it lasting for quite a while, and if they can keep it up, keep doing, support, and even if there is DLC for, certain stories or whatever, that could be absolutely amazing. But they are working with the people behind the films as well, not just the original, but it does say that it's literally just going to be a remake of 1978 Haddonfield. That's the one. There's no Halloween 2. There's no Season of the Witch, no Return of Michael Myers, The Curse of Michael Myers, none of this. No H2O, no reboots from Rob Zombie, not even the 2018 trilogy, none of them. Just 1978. But with them saying that it could be a version of Hitman but for serial killers, that's what gets a lot of people excited. So, they do say that Halloween, the story mode, apart from that, it'll put you in the boots and behind the mask of Myers, but what I'm able to learn from Mathewson It sounds deliciously like a serial killer's version of Hitman. And this is where they come in along and say that it's going to be 1978 as his blueprint. That means the setting, rural and suburban town of Haddonfield. All the decorations, the characters, the clothing are all from that time period. Amazing. It's been a lot of fun exploring what that means and everything that comes with having that kind of technology back then when it comes to actually making the single player a big portion of this game compared to the previous titles. So, with that, fingers crossed, they're able to be like, right, we got a great single player, this is going to happen, boom, this is what we got. And it needs to be a success. I will say that. The story mode needs to be, just superb. It needs to be. Otherwise, people are going to be like, oh, you've destroyed another horror IP. But Gun Media is behind it. And with Gun Media, well, it says that they're with them. They're not partnered with them or whatever, but Gun is the one who's going to be the publisher of the game. Gun Media destroyed Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game. It destroyed that game. I just really hope they don't do it for this one. But as you can see, though, we got some great little looking screenshots as well of it. While Haddonfield may have you thinking of the iconic, suburban neighborhood, its grounded and familiar setting being what elevates the horror when a terrifying killer is let loose. Mathewson also shows me that there will be a variety of maps that will go beyond the neighborhood. So straight away for me, I'm thinking of, obviously it's going to be like streets. You've got to have Laurie's house. You've got to have Nancy's house. You're going to have Haddonfield Psychiatric Hospital. Because that is in the, that was actually in the pre-concept art. They showed that off. They showed what Loomis is going to look like, and Loomis looks amazing. And you got to say the hospital, you're going to have the hardware store, you're going to have the school. There's so many places in the original movie that Michael does walk around. So fingers crossed, we get some awesome looking stuff. Really, really hope so. And this says that there's a lot more to Haddonfield than you see throughout the movie, that we'll be exploring and making sure there's different types of maps that have different sizes and different types of play styles. That is a key big word there. Key styles of playing. So it does lend itself to a different experience as you get set on these different maps. Yes. And it also says that Halloween is going to be more slow-paced, and it's also got by here that Halloween is more slow-paced and stealth-based than Friday the 13th. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It does go on as well to say what is actually it's going to be. So, Halloween's Haddonfield isn't just a map, but a simulation of 70s suburbia. So there will be a lot of NPCs also going about their own routines on Halloween night. That's going to be great. That is going to be actually really, really fun to see. Because we could be going in now and seeing kids and their fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, all trick-or-treating. Can we target any of them? That is going to be fun. That's going to be really good. And it says the twist is that any one of these can be the target for Michael Myers. So straight away, they're not going to have kids in it. That's obvious. It's going to be teenagers and above. This is where the Agent 47 comparison comes into play, as Myers needs to bide his time, observing the NPC, staying in the shadows until the opportune moment to kill comes. I am sold already. What this means is that rather than playing as targets trying to escape, the goal of other players is to prevent the massacre from occurring by rescuing the targeted townsfolk, such as convincing them to leave their homes. How is that going to work? So if I'm thinking of that now, I'm thinking, right, let's see how we're going to get these townsfolk out of their homes. We've got all these other players coming in. They have to warn them. They got to try and convince them. Do you have to collect some type of evidence? Okay, I'm looking forward to that. I really am. It's very stealthy on both sides since Michael, of course, doesn't want to be seen and he has a more methodical approach, but the civilians are obviously trying to stay out of sight until they have the means to try and combat him. Just as it is that assassinating a target out in the open can have everyone coming after you in Hitman, so too it seems that Michael's massacre can be more difficult to pull off if he gives himself away. It's also possible for the civilian players to escalate things. Ooh, okay. You can try to call the cops and convince them there's a murderer on the loose. If the cops come to investigate and they start finding evidence, they'll send more and more that create a much more difficult challenge for Michael. He's very powerful, but at the same time, the authority figures will challenge him. With this, there's so much being said that I'm already hyped. I'm like, oh my god, I need this game. But as they say by there, well, without seeing this in action, I can't quite picture in my head how this plays out. At this moment, in my head, it looks amazing. But time will tell. We'll have to wait and see for that. I'm really hoping that we can get some kind of just amazing, well, that's 8020. I just really hope we can do a lot of stuff. And I mean a lot of stuff with the civilians and Michael as well. I hope it's not going to be like Friday the 13th, where basically you got to fix the car, you got to drive the car out and you can succeed, or the, cut the wire, put the power fuse in and all this kind of stuff. I hope there's a lot more than just that. Like with the civilians, calling the cops, escalating things, obviously the cops are going to come. With them trying to get evidence, to me that's kind of thinking like, well, if Michael kills someone, something's happened, get the cops, send them in. That's what I think with that one. But if they do it like a methodical approach, like Hitman, and there's so many different ways that Michael could kill someone, we literally need different ways. It needs to actually be like Hitman if you think about it. Because in Hitman, you've got the wire, you get the piano wire, obviously all the different weapons, you've got stun grenades, all the way up to like ice picks and everything. Are we going to be able to use multiple items in this game to be able to take out the people that Michael needs to take out? Could it be a candle holder? Could it be a fire poker? Could it be a shard of glass if you throw them into the window or something like that? Throw them through the window. Is it going to be environment executions? There is so much going through my mind now regarding this. I really cannot wait for this game to come out. Next year, horror fans are eating good when it comes to video games. We've got Halloween, and we've also got Hellraiser Revival, which that is, apart from GTA 6, because GTA 6 is my #1 game and it has been for the last 6 years. Hellraiser Revival, apart from GTA, is my #1 game. I literally cannot wait to play that, and I hope both do good. That's what I want. So let us know down below, folks, what do you think of this? Are you looking forward to Halloween the game? Are you thinking of buying it, or will you wait and see what other people think of it first? Let us know down below, folks. Like and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Take care.